The story began with silence. Not the kind of silence found in empty rooms or quiet forests. This was the silence between galaxies, where sound itself could not survive. There, floating in the endless black, was something that defied time, light, and reason. A black hole so vast, so ancient, that even the stars seemed to bow away from it. They called it the Maw of Virath. For 10,000 years, no species had dared to go near it. Not after the first fleets vanished. Not after the last probe sent to its edge came back twisted, its metal warped into impossible shapes, its onboard AI whispering in languages no one could recognize. To the Galactic Council, the Maw of Virath was not just a black hole, it was a boundary between existence and the unknown. They marked the region as forbidden space. The charts called it Sector Zero Null. The people called it the end of stars. Yet despite all warnings, despite centuries of fear, humanity had come. The ship was called Odyssey 9, the 9th in a long line of human deep space exploration vessels. Sleek, silver, and silent, it drifted near the event horizon like a curious spark before an inferno. Inside the command deck, the crew moved in tense rhythm. The hum of machinery was steady, but hearts beat faster with every passing second. At the front viewport stood Dr. Elias Ward, captain of Odyssey 9, a tall, gray-eyed scientist who had once been called both genius and madman. His face was calm, but his eyes betrayed something else, wonder, and a hint of fear. "Telemetry stable," said Lieutenant Aris, his voice tight. "But the readings don't make sense. The gravity waves are fluctuating like they're breathing." "Breathing?" Ward echoed softly. "You mean the black hole is alive?" "Sir, with respect," Aris replied, swallowing. "I don't mean metaphorically." Ward looked back at the swirling darkness on the screen. The Maw of Virath was not just black, and it moved. It pulsed like a living heart, veins of distorted starlight flickering across its edge. He whispered to himself, "What are you hiding?" Across the galaxy, countless species tuned in. Every news relay, every comms network, every civilization, from insectoid colonies to crystalline hive minds, watched the human transmission in disbelief. On the galactic broadcast, Ward's voice cut through the static. "To any who can hear this, this is Dr. Elias Ward of Earth's Odyssey 9. Humanity has always asked questions others fear to ask. Today we ask the greatest one." He paused, eyes locked on the storm of darkness ahead. "If the universe wants to hide something in there, I'm going to find out what." The galaxy held its breath. Even the Galactic Council's emergency chamber fell silent. The alien representatives, scaled, feathered, luminous, exchanged looks of horror. The Vaughn Collective ambassador, his many eyes trembling, hissed, "Fools! The last time someone entered, a son died." But humanity didn't turn back. Inside the ship, alarms flickered softly as Odyssey 9 approached the gravitational border, the invisible line where space began to fold in on itself. "Distance to event horizon, 30,000 kilometers," said the navigation AI. "Mass fluctuation detected. Spatial lensing at 98%. Ward gripped the command rail. "Steady. Keep the engines at minimal thrust." Outside, the black hole's edge shimmered like a liquid mirror. The stars behind it stretched into bright ribbons, light itself being torn apart. The crew stared in silence. No one spoke. Then the ship's sensors screamed. A low-frequency vibration rolled through the hull, deep, guttural, alive. Metal groaned. The lights flickered. "Captain!" Aris shouted. Gravitational shear increasing. Shields at maximum. Structural integrity as the ship jolted. Every console flared red. "Maintain heading," Ward ordered. His voice was steady, almost defiant. "But sir, we're past safe limits." "There are no safe limits anymore," Ward said. "Only discovery." The Odyssey 9 crossed the line. The moment it did, everything changed. The stars disappeared. The navigation charts went blank. The ship's time sensors spun wildly, past, future, and present blending together like oil on water. Outside, the void was not empty. There were flashes, the shapes, things moving within the darkness like echoes of memories, or creatures made of light and shadow. The crew stared, speechless. Ward whispered, "Do you see it?" No one answered, because as they watched, the black hole moved again. It rippled like the surface of a sea, and for the briefest moment a shape formed, A circle within the void, almost like an eye looking back at them. Every system began to fail. The ship's engines lost power. Communications went silent. A final transmission went out. Across human space, across the galaxy. Static. Then Ward's voice. Calm, focused, unshaken. "We're inside the border now. The readings are impossible. There's light here. I repeat, there's light in the black hole." The message broke apart in a wash of static. "If you can hear me, tell them we were right. It's not just gravity." Then silence, the transmission cut. Odyssey 9 vanished. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy was united in fear. The alien networks replayed the footage endlessly. The last image, the human ship dissolving into the swirling darkness, burned into the minds of trillions. Some said the humans had angered the gods of creation. Others whispered that they had found something beyond physics, something the architects themselves had sealed away. But one thing was certain. No species had ever entered the Maw of Verath and lived to tell the tale. Now one had, or perhaps one still was. And so across 1,000 worlds, one question echoed like thunder in the dark. What did the humans find inside the black hole? The galaxy waited, and for death or for a miracle. 72 hours after Odyssey 9 vanished into the Maw of Verath, the galaxy began to hear something. It wasn't a sound in the usual sense. Space had no air for sound to travel, but a pattern, a pulse, a faint vibration rippling across subspace channels used by interstellar probes. It came first as a whisper in the static, then as a rhythm that repeated every 31 seconds. At first, the Galactic Council thought it was interference. Then it happened again, and again. The pulse grew stronger, clearer, until it began appearing on every deep space sensor from the Orion Rim to the Arcturian expanse. No one wanted to admit what it looked like, a signal coming from inside the black hole. The Maw of Verath had never given anything back before. Not light, not energy, not hope. Yet now it was speaking. The Council assembled in emergency session, their holographic forms flickering in a vast chamber orbiting the Trion moon. The room was filled with hundreds of species, scaled, luminous, insectoid, crystalline, all staring at the same projection, a waveform of the mysterious pulse. It rose and fell like a heartbeat. "It's the death call," hissed the Vaughn delegate, his voice like grinding stone. The same pattern recorded before the fall of the old fleets. "It is a warning." "Or a trap," added the crystalline ambassador of Illith. "The humans have disturbed what should remain buried." The council president, an ancient being made of living light, spoke with calm authority. "And yet, it is undeniable that the signal's structure contains intelligence. Something, or someone, is trying to speak." Across the galaxy, no one volunteered to decode it. Too dangerous, they said. The last time alien scientists tried to translate a black hole signal, half their systems melted under incomprehensible code. But humanity, as always, was different. On a small research outpost orbiting Jupiter, Dr. Mina Cho listened to the raw data feed in a darkened room. Her colleagues had gone home, terrified of the energy readings. But Mina stayed. The pulse repeated through her headphones, slow, steady, deliberate. She frowned, tapping her console. The rhythm was too familiar. Long, short, short, long. She froze. It was Morse code. "No way," she whispered. She ran the data through the old translator used for pre-interstellar communications. The computer hesitated, then printed 3 words. "It's not what we thought." Mina's heart skipped. She played the sequence again. The same pattern, same words. The message wasn't random. It was human. She immediately contacted the Terran Science Directorate, her voice trembling. "Sir, it's them. It's Odyssey 9. They're alive." Within hours, Earth's space agency confirmed the finding. The broadcast spread like wildfire through the human colonies. Every screen, every relay, every outpost replayed the same haunting message. "It's not what we thought." The words became a riddle, a prayer, a spark. What had they seen? What had they found inside? On the 4th day, a second transmission came through. The pulse was stronger now, like something or someone was forcing it through the impossible wall of gravity. But this time the message wasn't Morse. It was an encoded burst, raw data compressed into quantum packets. It wasn't meant for anyone except humans. And humanity answered. At the edge of the forbidden zone, a listening array was built, a massive web of satellites orbiting near the event horizon just outside the gravitational boundary. It was named Project Lazarus. The array captured the faint energy fluctuations and converted them into images, brief flashes of color and motion, like reflections through broken glass. The images didn't make sense at first. A city of light, a sea of clouds, and in one frame the silhouette of a man standing among them. His face was blurred, distorted by gravitational waves, but the voice that followed was clear enough to shake the universe. "This is Ward," it said. "We were wrong." The message ended. The data corrupted. But that one sentence changed everything. On every world, from the industrial moons of Avaris to the gas cities of the Alcar Dominion, the same question echoed. What did he mean by wrong? The Galactic Council debated in panic. The Vorn wanted to destroy the listening array, afraid the signal carried contamination. The Illith proposed isolating the entire human system, but humanity refused. They doubled the power of Project Lazarus, expanding it into a full station manned by soldiers, scientists, and artificial intelligences. Dr. Cho was appointed lead interpreter. She spent days decoding the fragments, listening to the chaos of gravitational whispers, piecing together broken words. Late one night, while reviewing the waveforms, she noticed something strange. The signal wasn't decaying as expected. It was amplifying. Every hour its strength grew by a measurable factor. That shouldn't have been possible. The black hole was supposed to consume energy, not send it out. But the Maw of Virath was doing the opposite. It was alive. Mina stared at the screen, her reflection flickering over the swirling holographic model of the event horizon. "It's communicating," she said quietly. "It's learning how to talk." When she reported her findings, the Council dismissed them as human arrogance. But deep down, everyone knew something fundamental had changed. For the first time in known history, the black hole wasn't a tomb. It was a doorway. Somewhere inside, Dr. Elias Ward was trying to reach out. The last transmission came on the 7th day. Short, fragmented, desperate, a voice distorted beyond recognition. "We found light inside." Then silence. The sensors spiked one last time before flattening completely. The pulse was gone. The Maw of Virath returned to stillness, its surface smooth and dark once again. Across the stars, billions watched the final report. Some claimed to see a faint glow at the center of the black hole, as if something within had awoken. Others said it was just the reflection of distant suns. But Mina Cho knew better. As she stood in the observation deck of Project Lazarus, staring into that endless, hungry dark, she whispered to herself, "He's still in there." And for the first time in 10,000 years, the galaxy was afraid not of what the black hole would take, but of what it might give back. The Horizon Spear was humanity's most advanced exploration vessel, built in secret orbit around Mars after the Odyssey 9 incident. It was bigger, faster, and far more dangerous. Its hull was layered with quantum armor, its engines powered by compressed singularity cores designed to bend light itself. But none of that technology guaranteed survival. The mission brief was simple. Enter the Maw of Virath, find Dr. Elias Ward, and if possible, bring him home. Commander Ria Voss stood on the command deck, staring at the holographic display of the black hole ahead. The swirl of gravity looked like a dark ocean, endless and patient. Her crew was silent. Everyone knew the risks. The last team to attempt this had been vaporized before they reached the event horizon. "Telemetry synced," said Lieutenant Harper quietly. "All systems green." The AI voice of the ship, calm and neutral, followed with a line that made every human heartbeat quicken. "Crossing this line means no return." Ria took a breath. "Then let's make it count. Begin approach." The engines ignited and the Horizon Spear moved forward, its hull trembling under gravitational strain. From the observation deck, the black hole filled the entire viewport, an endless storm of curved light. Stars around it stretched into lines, like cosmic threads being pulled apart. "Distance to event horizon, 50,000 kilometers," said the AI. "Gravitational pressure increasing." Ria's voice was steady. "Hold course. Record everything." The closer they got, the stranger reality became. Space rippled. Time signals lagged. Their clocks desynchronized. It was as if the universe itself was warning them to stop. And yet they pressed on, Outside, lightning-like flashes danced across the horizon, a brilliant chaos of blue and gold caused by matter being torn apart at relativistic speed. "It's beautiful," whispered Harper. Rhea didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on the darkness at the center, the one place no light escaped. She thought of Ward, trapped somewhere inside, and wondered if he could see them coming. The ship crossed the first gravitational boundary. Instantly, alarms screamed. The hull vibrated violently. "Shear levels critical," shouted the engineer. "Shields at 100 and rising." Rhea gritted her teeth. "Stabilize power flow."
"Keep us steady,"
the AI's voice echoed, almost hesitant. "Warning! Reality distortion detected. Space-time parameters no longer constant." "Meaning?" Rhea barked. "Meaning," the AI replied, "we are moving through more than space." Then everything changed. The view outside warped until the stars folded inward. The black hole grew, swallowing their vision. For a heartbeat, there was nothing but darkness, complete, crushing, infinite. Then the ship lurched forward, and the darkness exploded into light. The crew gasped. The black hole was gone. In its place stretched a sky of swirling color, an ocean of clouds glowing from within. Floating islands of crystal drifted through the air. Rivers of pure energy flowed in impossible directions, curving up, sideways, even backward. It was a world inside the event horizon. "Impossible," Harper whispered. "We should be dead." Rhea stared in disbelief. "We're not. At least not yet." The AI confirmed what no one dared to believe. Sensors detect stable environment. Gravity normalized. Temporal flow. Inconsistent but functional. The crew moved to the windows, staring out in silent awe. In the distance, something shone brighter than the rest, a structure massive and intricate, rising like a tower of glass and gold. "Captain," said Harper, voice shaking, "I think that's a city." Rhea magnified the image. The tower was surrounded by rings of light, and across its surface were symbols, pulsing faintly in rhythm with the ship's systems, as if it recognized them. "Set a course," Rhea ordered. "We're going in." The closer they came, the clearer it became that the city wasn't made of matter as they knew it. It shimmered, half solid, half energy. It was like light sculpted into form. As they entered its orbit, a signal cut through the static, a human voice. "This is Ward," it said. The crew froze. "Odyssey 9. Reporting. Status stable." Rhea felt her chest tighten. "Patch it through." The speakers crackled, and then his voice came again, clearer this time. "Don't come any closer. You won't." "Understand what's here?" Rhea's hands shook. "Elias, it's Rhea Voss. We're here to bring you home." Silence. Then a faint laugh, soft and sad. "Home, Rhea, there's no home anymore." "Not for me." The ship's scanners locked onto a signal near the tower. A humanoid figure stood on a platform of light, motionless, watching them. Rhea zoomed in. It was Ward. His body shimmered faintly like sunlight through water. He was alive but different. "Elias," she whispered, "what happened to you?" His voice echoed through their comms without delay. "We crossed a threshold, Rhea, inside the black hole. There's another universe, a pocket of existence made by beings older than galaxies. They call themselves the Architects." The crew exchanged stunned looks. Ward continued. "They built this place as a vault, a refuge for knowledge. Every species that came before tried to reach it, but they weren't ready. They came with fear. Only humanity came with curiosity." Rhea frowned. "You mean they were waiting for us?" Ward nodded slowly. "They said humanity carries what others lost, the will to face the dark. They've shown me things, Rhea. Stars being born from thought, time looping on itself. They've shown me what lies beyond death." The crew stood frozen. None of it made sense. The AI whispered, "Energy readings increasing. This entire place is reacting to his presence." Ward raised his hand and light spiraled around him. "I'm part of it now. The Architects chose me to guide what comes next." Rhea shook her head. "We're taking you back. Whatever this is, it's not your destiny. It's a trap." Ward smiled faintly. "You don't understand. You've already crossed the point of no return." As he spoke, the sky above them shifted. The clouds began to pulse, forming shapes, figures of light, vast and ancient like living constellations. They moved with slow, deliberate grace, their eyes burning brighter than stars. The crew stared in awe. Ward turned toward them. They're watching us, Rhea. They want to know if we're ready to inherit what they left behind. The communication cut to static. The city around them flared with light, and the ship's instruments went wild. Rhea shouted orders, but her voice drowned in the rising hum of energy. Through the chaos, Ward's voice came one last time, distant and echoing like thunder. Remember, Rhea, it's not a hole. It's a door. Then everything went white. When the light faded, the horizon spear drifted in silence. The crew blinked against the glow still burning behind their eyes. Their instruments flickered uselessly, readings looping in endless error messages. Commander Rhea Voss gripped the console, trying to steady her breath. Outside the viewport, the city of light stretched across the horizon, massive, endless, pulsing like a living being. Towers of crystal spiraled upward into clouds that shimmered with energy. Beneath them, rivers of pure light flowed through vast bridges, carrying not water but knowledge itself. Status report, Rhea said. Her voice sounded small in the vast quiet. Engines offline, Harper answered, eyes darting across the controls. Power fluctuating. Whatever that pulse was, it rewrote our systems. Rewrote? Rhea echoed. Harper nodded grimly. The ship's architecture is changing, literally. It's adapting. Rhea turned to the viewport again. Far ahead, the silhouette of Elias Ward stood waiting on a platform of glass suspended above the glowing sea. He seemed calm, his figure faintly transparent, his skin glowing faintly blue. Rhea ordered the shuttle bay opened. We're going down there, no one argued. Minutes later, Rhea, Harper, and 2 technicians stepped onto the platform's surface. The air shimmered. It wasn't cold or warm, just alive, vibrating like sound beneath their skin. When they approached Ward, he smiled faintly. You made it, he said, his voice echoing softly as if the air itself carried it in harmony. You shouldn't have. We're not leaving without you, Rhea said, taking a step closer. Whatever this place is, we can study it together. Ward looked at her with sadness. You still think this is a place? He lifted his hand and the space around them shifted. The city transformed before their eyes. The towers melted into shapes of energy, swirling into images, memories. They saw the birth of galaxies, stars forming from clouds of dust, life flickering to existence on strange worlds. This is what they showed me, Ward whispered. The architects. They created this pocket universe to store everything they learned before they vanished. They wanted someone to find it, someone who could understand without fear. Rhea stared at the moving images, transfixed. And they chose you. They chose humanity, Ward said. But only one of us could survive the crossing long enough to meet them. The others, they didn't make it. His voice cracked for the first time. I buried them here. Or what was left of them. Harper's voice was low. Sir, what happened to you? Ward looked down at his hands. Light pulsed beneath his skin like veins of electricity. The architects offered me knowledge, but it came with a cost. My body isn't real anymore. I'm connected to this place. I see things in all directions, past, present, and possible futures. I can't leave. There has to be a way, Rhea said, stepping closer. We'll find one, Ward smiled faintly. Always the human answer. The images around them shifted again. Now they showed civilizations rising and falling, species building empires and then fading into silence. Every species before us reached this point, Ward said. They found the black hole, saw the edge of eternity, and turned back. They lacked the one thing humanity never lost, Rhea frowned. What's that? Hope, Ward said simply. The architects watched us for millennia. They called us the final key. They believed our curiosity would open what fear kept closed. Harper looked around, awe in his voice. So this is a test? It was, Ward said, until I opened it. Now it's a choice. He gestured, and the light formed into a massive sphere above them, swirling with energy. This is their legacy, a source of power that can reshape the galaxy. If humanity takes it, we could rebuild worlds, end death, end hunger, end war. Then what's the choice? Rhea asked. Ward's expression darkened. To take it, or to guard it. The architects warned me that power this great can't exist freely. It must have a keeper. Rhea stepped closer. You mean a prisoner? Ward didn't answer. They want someone to stay here, she said quietly. Someone to keep it from being misused. He nodded. Someone who already understands what it means to sacrifice. You, she whispered. It has to be me, Ward said. I'm already part of it. If I leave, this entire structure could collapse, or worse, it could escape. Rhea clenched her fists. Hell yes, we came across a singularity to find you. You can't expect me to leave you behind. Ward's eyes softened. You don't have a choice. The door won't stay open much longer. When it closes, time here will stop. For you, it'll be seconds. For me, it'll be forever. The air began to vibrate, the light dimming around them. The ship's AI broke through the comms in a panicked voice. Commander, gravitational field increasing. We're being pulled toward the event horizon. Rhea's earpiece buzzed. You need to come back now, Harper shouted. The ship can't hold. Rhea turned back to Ward, desperate. Please, come with us. He reached out, touching her arm. His hand felt warm, real. Tell them we found something worth believing in, he said softly. Tell them we're not alone in the dark. His body began to dissolve into streams of light. Rhea reached for him, but her hand passed through air. Elias, she screamed. The city trembled. Towers cracked into shards of brilliance, and the rivers of light roared like thunder. Go, Ward's voice echoed all around. Take what I've given you and live. A beam of light shot from the platform into the sky, striking the horizon sphere above. The ship's systems surged back online. In the chaos, Harper's voice came through the comms. We have power. Commander, we have to leave now. Rhea's eyes filled with tears as she looked up at the beam. Goodbye, Elias. The shuttle lifted, escaping the collapsing city as the world of light folded in on itself. As they rose, Rhea saw one last image. The faint outline of Ward standing at the center of the storm, his arms outstretched, holding the collapsing universe together. Then everything went black. Moments later, the horizon sphere broke free from the event horizon in a burst of light. Behind them, the Maw of Varath returned to silence, its darkness calm and still. On board, Rhea opened the data Ward had transferred. Inside was a map, coordinates to hundreds of black holes scattered across the galaxy, each pulsing faintly with energy. And at the top of the file, a message in Ward's voice. They're not doors to death. They're doors to beginnings. The horizon sphere drifted through the void in silence, its engines barely humming, its hull scorched from its escape. The black hole behind them glowed faintly, like an eye that had closed but was still watching. Inside the ship, the crew sat in stunned quiet. Commander Rhea Voss stood at the central console, staring at the map Elias Ward had left behind. Hundreds of black holes filled the holographic projection, scattered across the galaxy, like stars inverted. Each one pulsed faintly, synchronized as if they were connected by some unseen rhythm. Are those all like the Maw? Harper asked, his voice barely above a whisper. Rhea nodded. Ward called them doors. If he's right, every one of them hides another world. Another architect vault. That's impossible, Harper muttered. The amount of energy... He said they built them, Rhea interrupted. Maybe this is what they left behind. A network or a message. She zoomed in on one of the points. The data was impossible. Gravitational signatures folding into themselves, energy readings that defied known physics. If we decode this, she said slowly, we could unlock what the architects knew. The ship's AI spoke suddenly, its tone unusually hesitant. Commander, the data contains more than coordinates. There's a secondary file encrypted with biological identifiers. Specifically, Dr. Ward's neural pattern. Rhea frowned. Explain. The encryption is bound to his genetic code. It can only be accessed by someone who shares a direct DNA lineage. Harper blinked. You mean his family? Yes, said the AI, or anyone whose physiology has been modified by his energy signature. Rhea went cold. When Ward had touched her back in the light city, her skin had glowed for a brief second. She'd dismissed it as stress or radiation exposure, but now, under the faint hum of the ship's scanners, she realized her heartbeat was different, slower, stronger, almost resonant with the low vibration of the ship. Run a bioscan, she ordered quietly. The AI hesitated. Commander. Do it. A thin light swept over her. The results appeared instantly. Her cells were glowing faintly on the display. Part of her genetic sequence had changed. Harper stared. Rhea, what does that mean? She swallowed hard. It means Ward passed something to me. Like what? I don't know. Maybe access, maybe responsibility. The crew fell silent. Outside, the Maw of Varath spun quietly in the distance, its event horizon shimmering faintly with the same pulse as her heartbeat. The AI broke the silence. Incoming transmission. Ria's eyes widened. From where? Unclear, the AI said. It's piggybacking on residual gravitational frequencies, identical to Dr. Ward's last signature. Static filled the bridge. Then, faintly, a voice emerged. Ward's voice. Ria. You made it. The sound froze her in place. It wasn't a recording. It was live. Elias, she whispered. Where are you? Everywhere, he said softly. The architects are gone, but their echoes remain. The vaults are waking up. You have to choose. Choose what? Whether humanity is ready for what comes next. The line cracked, the signal breaking apart. Elias, we can help you. We can bring you home. No, he said, his tone calm but heavy. There's no home for me anymore. But for you, there's a decision to make. The data file unlocked automatically. New symbols filled the air above the console. 2 paths glowing in different colors. One pulsed with golden light, steady and warm. The other shimmered blue, cold and sharp. The first path, Ward's voice said, will grant humanity access to the architect's technology. It will make you gods. You'll cure death, hunger, pain. You'll rebuild the galaxy in your image. And the second? Ria asked. The second locks the vaults forever. The knowledge will be sealed away. But the galaxy will remain free, unshaped, uncertain, alive. The choice hung in the air like a blade. The crew looked at Ria, waiting. Harper's voice trembled. We can't make that call. That's exactly what he meant, Ria said softly. They wanted us to decide. She stared at the glowing paths. Power beyond imagination, or the humility to walk away. It was the same decision the architects must have faced. And perhaps they too had chosen to hide. Her mind raced. If humanity took the gift, there would be no limits. But if they refused, someone else might find it later, someone who wouldn't hesitate to use it. Ward's voice came again, softer now. Whatever you choose, Ria, choose with faith, not fear. That's what makes you human. The light dimmed. The holographic display pulsed faster. Commander, the AI warned. The ship's orbit is destabilizing. The black hole is reacting to the data. It's responding to me, Ria whispered. It knows I have to decide. She stepped closer to the console, her reflection glowing faintly in the golden and blue light. Memories flashed. Earth's blue oceans, the laughter of her crew, the faces of the lost Odyssey 9. She thought of Ward, standing alone in that world of light, holding the weight of an entire civilization in his hands. She exhaled slowly. Lock in manual control, she said. Harper stared. Which one are you choosing? Ria's eyes never left the console. The one he trusted me to. Her hand hovered between the 2 lights. For a long moment, the bridge was utterly silent except for the low hum of the ship and the faint rhythmic pulse echoing from the Maw. Then she pressed her palm into the golden light. The entire ship exploded with radiance. The black hole outside flared like a newborn star. Gravity waves rippled outward in every direction, washing over the galaxy like an invisible tide. The lights dimmed. The noise faded. The golden path vanished. Harper blinked. What did you do? Ria looked up, her voice calm. I gave humanity a chance to grow into the answer. When we're ready, the vaults will open themselves. The AI confirmed it quietly. Data sealed. Access postponed until human consciousness reaches synchronization threshold. When will that be? Harper asked. Unknown, said the AI. Possibly centuries. Ria looked out at the black hole one last time. Then we'd better survive that long. Outside, the Maw of Varath pulsed once more, faintly, almost like a heartbeat. And deep within its lightless core, a whisper echoed through space in Ward's voice. Good choice, Ria. Then the darkness swallowed the sound and the galaxy moved on, unchanged yet forever altered. Weeks passed after the blinding flare that erupted from the Maw of Varath, and across the galaxy, strange things began to happen. In the outer colonies, sensors flickered to life on worlds long abandoned. Beacons that had been dead for centuries whispered faint signals, coordinates, star patterns, fragments of human DNA. No one could explain it. The Galactic Council held emergency meetings, their great hall echoing with panic and speculation. Every species feared the same thing, that humanity had awakened something they could not control. The name of the human ship, Horizon Spear, spread like fire through every channel, every screen, every interstellar relay. Some called the crew heroes, others called them destroyers. And yet no one could find them. They had vanished. Commander Rhea Voss and her crew drifted in silence, somewhere beyond the known sectors, their ship battered but alive. The energy pulse had thrown them thousands of light years away, past any charted system. Outside, the stars shimmered wrong, their colors slightly shifted, as if reality itself was still trembling. Inside, the crew tried to understand what had happened. "We didn't just escape," Harper said quietly, watching the scanners. "We broke something. The rules. The limits." Rhea stood near the viewport, staring at the swirling lights of a nearby nebula. "Maybe that's what Ward wanted," she said. "To show us the universe isn't as closed as we thought." The AI interrupted. "Commander, new signals detected. Multiple vessels approaching." The crew tensed. On the screen, dozens of ships emerged from the void, sleek silver designs that glowed faintly, unlike any alien fleet known. Rhea frowned. "Identify." "Unknown," the AI replied. But their energy signatures matched traces of architect technology. The ships halted, surrounding the Horizon Spear in a perfect sphere. Then a transmission came through. The voice was calm, melodic, neither human nor alien. "Human vessel. You carry the mark of the source. Do not fear. We are the custodians." Rhea's eyes widened. "The what?" "The custodians," the voice continued. "We are the stewards of the legacy left by those who came before, the architects. We watched as your kind entered the forbidden light. We did not expect you to return. Who are you really?" she asked. "We were born from the remains of their technology," said the voice. "Not alive as you are. Not dead either. Our duty is to protect the balance between creation and oblivion." "And now that balance trembles," Harper whispered. "They mean the choice." Rhea stepped forward. "I sealed the vaults. I made sure no one could use that power until humanity was ready." "And yet," said the custodian, "the vaults heard your voice. The seal you made is not a lock. It is a promise. It echoes through the cosmos. It calls to those who seek knowledge." On the screen, distant lights shimmered across the black. "Others have heard it," the custodian continued. "Empires will rise to find what you hid, and when they do, they will come for you." Rhea clenched her jaw. "Then we'll face them." The custodian paused. "You misunderstand, human. They will come not to fight you, but to become you." The words chilled the air. "The architects chose you," the voice said. "Not by blood, but by courage. You went where none dared. You looked into the void and did not turn away. That spark, curiosity, defiance, hope, is what the universe needs to survive." The transmission faded. The custodian ships vanished like mist, leaving only silence behind. Harper exhaled. "Did we just get blessed or cursed?" "Both," Rhea said quietly. The AI interrupted again. "Commander, there's something else." The flare from the maw, it didn't just send out light. It encoded a signal. A single word repeated in human and architect code. "What word?" Rhea asked. "Return." Rhea stared out the viewport. In the distance, faintly, the shape of a planet appeared. Blue and white, fragile and small. Earth. Somehow, impossibly, they were home. The ship descended through the atmosphere, its hull burning like a comet. The world below had changed. Gigantic orbital cities floated above continents. Beams of light connected the oceans like neural pathways. Humanity had advanced centuries in what felt like moments. The streets below shimmered with drones and towers of glass, but among them, people still looked up at the stars, still wondering, still dreaming. As the ship landed, crowds gathered staring at the scorched metal, the emblem of Odyssey 9 still faintly visible on the hull. News feeds erupted. The explorers return. The maw opens. Humanity's children bring back the light. Rhea stepped out onto the platform. The air tasted different, cleaner, thinner. She looked at the skyline, blinking in disbelief. "How long were we gone?" she asked. The AI responded softly. "Temporal drift detected. Estimated elapsed time on Earth, 412 years. Harper dropped his helmet. "We're relics." The crowd grew silent as Rhea looked at them, thousands of humans staring up with awe and fear. She spoke into the comms, her voice echoing across the city. We went to the edge of the universe. We found something greater than knowledge. We found our reflection. The people listened, their faces glowing in the golden light of dawn. The architects didn't build the universe to be worshipped, she continued. They built it to be understood. And that understanding begins with us, right here. Somewhere far above, beyond the orbit of Earth, the stars shimmered faintly, aligning for a brief moment. A ripple passed through them, a soft, invisible wave, as if space itself was whispering. The AI sensors caught it. "Commander, the signal from the maw has changed." "To what?" Rhea asked. "It now reads awakening." She looked up, heart pounding. "He kept his promise," she whispered. The wind carried the faint sound of static, like a voice beneath the clouds. It sounded like Elias Ward, calm and distant, saying one final thing. "The universe remembers who dared to ask." The crowd didn't hear it, but Rhea did. She closed her eyes, smiled faintly, and looked toward the stars. "Then we'll be ready." And above them the heavens pulsed once more, like a heartbeat beginning again, echoing through every world that had ever feared the dark.